Hello, hello. Welcome back to AVX Live. I'm Joe Gilderson, President of Corporate Audio Visual Services, and it's another great day here in the audio visual production community. Please welcome my co-host, Mr. Ryan Finch. How are we doing, Ryan?
I'm excellent. I'm feeling really good. I have a new setting behind me right now. You can't really see it, but here we go. I'm in my living room right now. This is where I live.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Some might say I'm overpaying you, but
wouldn't say that. That's it, folks.
All right, not everyone would say that, but some would say it. That's all right. Listen, last week we were discussing business relationships and how important they are. We talked about clients, we talked about vendors, we talked about event partners, and of course our venues that we work in. It was a good conversation. For anybody who did not catch it, you can go back and actually find that on our YouTube channel.
You're stealing my lines.
I'm not, though.
Basically half the reason I'm here.
I'm not stealing your lines. You will be up in just 1 second. Today, we're going to introduce a new colleague to the world, as well as we're going to discuss the use of social media. But before we do that, Mr. Finch, take it away.
You can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube Live. You can do that every Wednesday at 1 p.m. And while you're there, you should drop us a comment. You should be part of the show. Ask a question. We'll answer it live. Throw some curveballs at our new colleague. She really likes them, and in no way does it stress her out. And, of course, while you're there, you should like, comment, share, subscribe, all the above. Much appreciated. Super helpful. And if you missed the show, like Joe was saying a couple seconds ago, you can find our whole video library. New word change. Our whole video library on our YouTube channel and some bite-sized pieces on Facebook and on Instagram. Ba-bam! There you go. Halfway done. That's it.
You're so good at that.
I know. A couple
what
of
happened to
show up every week now. So
what happened to the video discography?
I don't know. Some people didn't like it, so it's out.
It's a big word.
And yes, you should smash the subscribe button.
Oh, there's smashing going on.
You just covered up commentary from the crowd, and by crowd I mean office.
Okay, listen, let's get this thing going.
Okay.
Let me tell you about our guest, Alexis VanPutten. Alexis comes to corporate AV with her team player attitude, as well as her knowledge of digital marketing and client service, having previously served as front office supervisor at the Sleepy Hollow Hotel and Conference Center, as well as taking on various roles in the digital media space. Alexis is no stranger to hospitality and production. Graduating from Pace University and with strengths in project management, creative direction, market research, and more, Alexis is quickly becoming a trusted advisor for her clients and company alike. So please welcome Alexis VanPutten.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you have to be here because we said so.
Yeah.
Well, Joe said so. I'm not in charge.
That is very true.
You mean you're not El Jefe Grande?
Oh.
I mean, again, I like to think so, but apparently not. Alexis, I do want to say your camera image, backdrop, all of it, awesome. What kind
Corporate
of
AV.
I was going to say, like, what kind of great, amazing person helped you with something like that?
His name is Ryan Finch.
Wow.
He works at Corporate AV. Really great guy.
Please,
Isn't it beautiful?
His head cannot fit into the window that we've given him as is. So please, he's the most humble.
the most
humblest.
So Alexis, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Not bad.
Great.
It's not about us. It's all about you.
No.
Come on.
This is your show today.
Awesome.
We are here to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
And so speaking of serving,
I
know what you were going to say. And that, Ryan, is what it's all about.
There we go. Catchphrase.
Okay.
Continue. Sorry, Gilderson.
All right. Listen, this is your first AVX Live, Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been on a live podcast before?
No. I mean, shy away from like Instagram Live, interviewing like that, but nothing like a podcast.
Okay. Instagram Live you've actually used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Facebook Live, have you used that?
No.
YouTube?
Nope.
Okay.
You're,
All right.
Well, my world is on Instagram.
okay. Your world is no. You've never done like a collab,
Instagram.
no? Because
Just
that's
strictly Instagram platform.
they pull up their phone and they're live, and then somebody else is live, and
Mm-hmm.
you know it's a little different than
I
what
mean,
we're doing
I collab.
most often. You don't collab.
I mean, I'm just saying I collab.
He doesn't seem like a collabor. I'm going to be honest.
Come on. I mean, I'm down with the kids, man. All right, so listen, let's get you going in the right direction, okay? Since this is your first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be part of the corporate AV?
Okay, well, like you guys had beautifully stated already, I was originally at the Sleepy Hollow Hotel as the front office supervisor. Interesting enough, while I was working there before I became the front office supervisor, I was a regular agent, but I also did an internship there for the sales department. So I was building their social media, working alongside our other colleague, Mr. Kevin Johnson, who actually is the one that recommended me to corporate AV. So that is how I got here. So I worked really close with him in the hotel setting, both hospitality side and, marketing side. And now here I am.
Okay. So now, would you say, you mentioned Kevin, would you say that a relationship that you built is what brought you an opportunity?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And have you heard things like that happening in your new setting?
All the time, every day.
There we go. Look at that. I just proved it. Well, obviously, Alexis, relationships are a huge part of what we do, and building them, maintaining them, again, for the clients that you're working with, developing them. It is a critical part, not just of our business, but of business in general. So you've already seen that firsthand. And what was it like working on a sales team?
It was great. It was a very collaborative effort between everybody's opinions. Everybody's opinions and thoughts were always welcomed. It was not somebody just left out to fend for themselves, but anytime somebody needed to step in or step up at any point, somebody was always there to do so or lend advice, help out in any type of way, which really helps like a whole department, because a department at the end of the day is a team, and that's how teams are supposed to operate.
Well, very well said. And we like to think we have a pretty strong team here.
Great team.
How's that transition going? Are you feeling like you're part of said team?
Oh, from day one, the moment I walked in the door.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's one thing that you remember? Here comes curveball number one. What's one thing you remember that gave you the impression of team atmosphere?
As soon as I walked through the door, specifically the warehouse, it was just like, "Hey, welcome!"
Yeah, we got a lively bunch.
Welcome. Yeah, definitely
Well,
that
good.
personality, that energy, that hands down number one.
Okay, well that's great. I mean, you can hear some of that energy through my microphone coming through the window right behind me.
I can hear it. Yes.
Yeah, I figure I keep putting myself on mute. I should have closed the window, but then I would start sweating, so I didn't.
Good decision. I mean, with that fireplace going, you got in the background. I mean,
I don't have I do have a fireplace.
I know it can get hot in there.
Oh well. Okay, moving on.
All right. So that's a little bit about how you came here and get started. So why don't you tell us about your main role here at Corporate AV, and what do you think the most important elements of our service are to people?
Okay, well, I am an account manager here at Corporate AV. So I get clients, we build a relationship, build a rapport, and it's really just at the end of the day to service them and their needs, and the whole reason why they call Corporate AV. With my background in hospitality, the client relationship is very important because they'll tend to come to you with their problems knowing that you have a solution, and Corporate AV always has a solution for anybody that comes to us.
That is very well said. You mentioned two things I think are important: hospitality, number one, and solutions, number two. We'll start with number one. Somebody who I'm hoping that you meet was a guest on this show, I think 2 times, was somebody, Mr. Rob Friedland. Rob, for many years, was or really still is. He's a lesser role these days, but he is a top-notch video engineer, technical director, and many other things. And he actually gave a talk, to our team for Pirate University, which you've heard a lot about, and you'll get a chance to see that soon. He talked a lot about how we are in the hospitality field. We are in the service industry. And I think that's something that a lot of people can kind of forget, is that you're here to be helpful. You're here to help, your clients achieve their goals. And that's what it's all about. There we go. And number 2 is solutions, right? Is we're trying to help them with something, solve a problem, achieve a goal. And sometimes putting out fires as well, because that's just the nature of the business. And so I take it you've started to see a little bit of all of this.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Is there anything that's more exciting than others? Anything that gets your enthusiasm going, we'll say?
I think my favorite part so far is going on these site visits and actually meeting the client in the space that we'll be working in. The spaces are beautiful. First of all, I get to meet new people, go new places, experience new things. I think that's one of the best parts about this job. Is not one job is, to me so far, is ever the same, even though it may be the same kind of setup or equipment, but different personalities, different venues, different ways to do things. So yeah, I like that aspect.
That's absolutely true. Nothing is really the same. And we just kind of joke around sometimes that the small events take just as much work as the big ones. A little tongue in cheek, but that is certainly true. So you like being out on site, away from the desk. So you're trying to get away from me, is what you're saying.
Ryan, never. You're my go-to.
I try to every day, but
all
right, peanut gallery.
So listen, Alexis, why don't you tell us about one of your recent site visits?
Ooh, probably one of my most favorite, because it's something that I've never done before. I went up into a construction site, into scaffolding, for Thomas and Bender, great company, very bright personalities, love them so much. For the Capelli organization, who was building a building right in White Plains, right here, and our neighbors. I went with Joe for the first time. We went up, got some information for what we need to provide to make the event successful. And then Joe surprised me and sent me on my way by myself for the first time. He keeps doing that.
Yeah, that never actually stops. So
no. But it was a great experience. I felt really comfortable since I, already met them before. I kind of already knew what to expect. And Joe said I did a great job when I came back and gave him my report.
Hashtag surprise.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's good. There you go. Go on.
That's not a usual. That's not a usual site visit. So
not at
all. Did you wear a hard hat?
I did.
You did wear a hard hat. I was actually a joke. I didn't know you did.
Yes, both times. We went up the first time.
Then teamwork.
Yeah, we went up the first time, and then the second time we went down to the office. So that's below everything.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You get to see things from a different perspective.
Yeah, it was cool. I would have never done that ever in my life. I would have never came here. So that's good.
Well, there'll be a lot more interesting things than that to come.
Oh, gosh. Surprise.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag surprise. But
Joe does the banners, just so you know. So,
yeah.
Sometimes you see him feverishly typing. It takes him a couple seconds, so he might be a little late. But
sometimes I mistype things and I take them down off the screen really quickly and then put them back up.
Doing it live. Woo!
That's the fun part of doing everything live. But there's another element of your job, which is the social media. So I know that you've had some social media experience in the past. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those experiences?
So actually currently I do have a lot of side clients doing social media management. So I take starting companies that, they want to focus on the production side of their company, the business side, but they don't really know how to market themselves or how to really interact on social media. So I take on the role as a social media coordinator. That's what I was doing at the hotel, like I mentioned before. So I go and I get the content for them and I properly place them using things like hashtags, adding locations, working on engagement with the followers, gaining new followers, constantly checking and running analytics and things of that nature. Basically, it's all about, the dollar bills, trying to get those sales, trying to get those sales and bringing, the consumers to their page, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, their website, and things of that nature. Really trying to use social media to drive those sales up.
All right. Well, that's pretty fun, pretty interesting. I have a kind of a follow-up question on that, and I wrote it down on my phone, and now I don't know where my phone went. And so if you could just bear with me a second. Hold on. I need to see if maybe oh, thank you. Got it. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. So, Alexis, how important is creativity in social media?
I was not expecting that.
Boom! It worked. I didn't blow it.
I can't hear you.
Hold on. Now I'm going to just put the spotlight on you while you're laughing.
That caught me so off guard. That was good. That was great. That was great. Good job, Ryan.
Joe, what'd you think?
I thought that could have gone either direction really quick, and I was waiting for it. So I'm glad that the other guy came in and found your phone for you.
Yeah, he's pretty helpful. But Alexis, that is actually the question, though, is how important is creativity when it comes to social media?
I think it's the number one aspect when it comes to social media, originality, being the most creative, having those type of reactions, because now somebody's going to want to come back because that was funny and that was different and nobody was expecting that. So I try to work with my clients a lot on getting content that's, tailored to their brand, but that's definitely original, definitely organic, and, it fits their personalities to really push, that content out and make people come and attract them.
All right. And obviously you're in kind of a stage now where you're learning about the business, you're learning about the clients. What's that process typically like for any new client that you're starting out on a social media journey with? What's that kind of exploration process like for you?
Well, first I try to get to know them as a person, because that kind of trickles down into their business. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the clients that I work with, they are the face of their business. So I have to really make sure I understand who they are and then who the brand is and connect the two and make sure they mesh, because at the end of the day, they are the face. So as I get to know them, I get to know the brand, and we kind of together in a collaborative effort, try to see what works, what doesn't work, what's comfortable, what's not comfortable, and we just tailor it. And it's always a process. We're not going to get it the first time, but we keep going and keep trying to see what works and see what fits. And that's how you get a blueprint, and then you run with it.
So it's a collaborative process, huh? Well, you also talked about people. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something, Joe?
No, it's okay.
Okay, good. That's fine. Actually, this is going to be better. So you talked about getting to know the person, getting to know the people, and that's obviously certainly something you've been doing here. How important is personality? How important are people to the brand, and how forward should they be in the messaging and the brand identity? What do you think?
I think personality is key. It's number one. In the age of social media, a lot of influencers are basically making a lot of money on just really being themselves, and people are attracted to them and their brand because they are being themselves. And at the end of the day, people don't want to work with somebody they don't like. So of course, if you have a great personality, good, customer service relationship and things of that nature, people are always going to come back to you, because I had a great experience with Ryan Finch. He was so funny. He brightened up my day. And you want that type of response, because then they're going to remember you and then they're going to come back.
Yeah. Well, look, that's part of the experience. Joe, you're shaking your head over there and it's bothering me. I'll be honest with you.
He's so upset.
Oh boy. I mean,
don't make me call my associate back. He might have a couple words with you.
I mean, I don't know if that head is going to fit into the window that we have given you. I mean,
I'm the most humble.
You are the most humble. No, I appreciate I appreciate what she's got to say about it. I mean, I agree. I
That's what
think
it's
the
all about.
personalities and the relationships are the. Did she just use the tagline?
I think she did. She stole it, right? She just stole it from you.
I mean, I don't even think you guys need.
That, you know who else doesn't? Right, Robbie, I apologize. I don't know if that's actually why you put that there, but in this case, you're agreeing.
Hey,
I mean, Robbie, what's up with that? I mean, Robbie, I collab. Like, I mean, come on.
Alexis, what do you think the long-term viability of #iCollab is for the corporate AV brand? What do we think?
It has longevity, especially because this is a collaborative effort between us and the client. That's really literally what it's all about.
What?
Ha! 2 times. You ain't like it works.
She's good.
All right, I'm going to work on new material for next show.
No, seriously. Joe has said it to me multiple times on site visits that it's very much so a collaborative effort. We're partnering with the clients. We're not really just working for somebody. It's us together. We're in this event together. You may be up there, but we're up here working together to make it go smoothly.
Well, I'm glad that something other than my iCollab skills have rubbed off. But either way, you know, you're talking about the creativity and the personality coming through in the social media. How do you think audio visual plays a role in generating that content?
I think aside from personality, that is the next thing. You don't know how many times I watch a lot of like YouTube videos about like content creators and things of that nature, and their lighting setup makes a difference. How they sound makes a difference. Now in the world of social media, going back into influencing, you have a lot of gym influencers who do a lot of mic'd up situations, and that audio, especially if you're in a gym, there's weight slamming, people talking, but that audio has to be right. It has to be good so the camera can pick it up. So when they post it and share it, they only hear that person. If they just use like the camera mic, it wouldn't sound good at all. It'd be very chaotic and you wouldn't want to watch it anymore. But that audio, if it looks good, that visual, shout out to Sony cameras, it looks good, then the quality is good. It's crisp, it's clear. The focus is great. Then people are always going to come back to what looks good, come back to the quality. So it definitely matters, especially in the digital world.
It's interesting you touch on quality and its relationship with recordings. This is one thing that you might have heard us say, and we'll probably say a million times again, is that the recording lives on forever. And
Absolutely.
That ends up being, an easy way to ruin an otherwise successful event is with a poor recording, because that's the stuff that you get to keep, right? Everything else is feeling, is experience, and that's very important. And sometimes actually that's the most important thing. But when the goals of the event are to come away with content that can serve them again and again in the future, then that quality is really key. So what kinds of you talked about like sound quality. What other kinds of things in a live event do you think create quality as it relates to AV, aside from the recording? What other kinds do you think at this stage in your learning?
Oh, the lighting, like this beautiful lighting that I have behind me.
Somebody was really skilled who helped you with that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely lighting. I think I've been to numerous concerts, for example, and it sets the tone, kind of sets the mood, it sets the vibe, if you will. It sets an expectation, of whatever is happening. It creates a feeling, whether it's a rock concert, everything's flashing, everything's moving, or if it's something that's a more mellow setting, the lighting has to be calmer. So it can really dictate the energy in the room. So I think lighting is definitely, it has to be top tier.
Absolutely. Well, lighting
Shout
is
out to Bobby.
Bobby. Yep. Another a warm welcomer from
Yes.
from your comments earlier. Yeah, no, lighting is definitely a key part of creating an energy and ambiance to the room. Look, there's certainly other things I think stick out to us in the AV world a little more so than it does to your average your average Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Right in his
Come
face.
on.
Anyway,
man.
but and now I lost my train of thought. Never mind. I'm done. See you guys later.
Problem solved. I mean, Alexis, now we can have an intelligent conversation. Oh, man. It looks like your friend is back.
Just one of him this time?
Is it Ryan 2.0? I mean, are you Ryan 2.0 or the original?
I mean, I guess I am. Anyway, there's banging going on. I'm sorry. It's all going off the rails now. Apologize.
Well, I would say you have a little bit of an advantage. I think I'm hoping I get this right. I think you're referred to as a Gen Z.
Yeah.
And as a Gen Z, you've been born into technology and you live and breathe social media. I think that's a real advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes not everybody understands all of these things, these collaborations. But if you can go into your mind of what's happening, where do you think social media is heading in the future?
I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of scared. For social media. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now that is now affecting social media. One really big thing is influencers. People who make their money off of social media on certain platforms will no longer be able to do that. So that, shifts things a lot for them and how they're able to connect with their audience. So we have to see how that's going to play out because it's going to be very different. However, we rely on social media. For example, when it comes to the pandemic, it was virtual. Everything. People were doing live concerts, live shows, live productions via social media. Everything was ran through Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. So, and social media is a great avenue for quick information. So it's needed. So I think we all have to take into account that social media plays a really big part in our lives, and hopefully further down the line with development and advances of social media, that these tools, these platforms can be used properly, and that people that rely on social media for their living can continue to do so. But yeah.
So for old geezers like Joe, how is it exactly and as far as the influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that they're losing their life? Like what's happening? Help me understand that. Help Joe understand that.
Help me help you.
There we go.
What movie, Finch? What movie?
Help me help you. That's Jerry Maguire. Continue.
Thank you.
Some social media platforms now are no longer going to pay influencers. A lot of the employment is based on like followers, likes, and those analytics. And it's just not going to matter anymore. Even when it comes down to Instagram and like getting verified and blue checks before, it was based on like a number count on how many followers you have. Now you can just purchase it. It has its bad and good qualities. The digital world is kind of on either sides of it a little bit. Some say it's better because it provides protection against people like robots or people hacking into pages and things of that nature. And then there's another side of social media that's like, but it's not authentic.
Right. And
a lot of people in the world, especially on social media, want to find something that's authentic, going back to that whole personality thing.
Want to see something real.
Exactly.
Joe is definitely typing a banner, something to do with robots. So while he's doing that, I have a question from the audience. You might know her. How does one become an influencer? Hashtag asking for a friend.
I think the main thing is consistency. A lot of people think that once they decide they want to be a content creator of any type, that it's instant, and it's really not, especially if you're starting from the ground, if you don't have any type of foundation. So you have to be consistent. Even if nobody's watching your content, you have to constantly put it out and find new ways and try new things to get in front of that audience. On TikTok and Instagram specifically, those are hashtag heavy driven platforms. So for example, if somebody's looking for lighting or audio visual or something like that, and we're posting with a whole bunch of audio visual hashtags, they'll come across corporate AV. And that's how, and also the algorithm on both platforms because you're using the same type of words, that's who they're going to push your content out to. So there's a lot of different tools and hacks that you can use to kind of push your brand forward, push your platforms forward. But the number one thing is being very consistent. And maybe like the number 3 thing is to keep your quality good and always trying new things and constantly innovating and seeing what works for you.
Okay. I think that's very insightful. I think you've pointed to some areas that we could probably do better with. We've already started raising the production level here, at least for this one small example. We figure, we should start looking a little better, sounding a little better, and that'll be continuous improvement, just like you said, but also being consistent, because Joe is constantly just disappearing and not doing these on a weekly basis. He's just like so busy. He's like, I can't do it this week. So, I think that's a lesson that we can take from you, Alexis, is that we have to continue to do it, and also other things, because we don't do a whole lot other than this. So, all
right, Ryan, if you're done talking, I have several very important questions. All right, let's talk about TikTok, chat AI, and killer robots.
Told you.
Tell me about TikTok. Is it staying or is it going?
I think it's going.
Okay.
I really think it's going.
All right, let's go to chat AI then. It's going. That's your answer. We're moving on. Chat AI. How's it going to affect social media and influencers?
I wish I could give you a real black and white answer, but just the state of the world right now and how politics is kind of affecting social media, and now social media giants are making decisions to take away certain things from influence and things of that nature. We're just gonna have to see.
Sounds no bueno to me. Okay, what about killer robots? Age of Ultron. What is gonna happen?
They're gonna take over.
Absolutely, I agree completely. All right, thank you, everyone.
That's all I got today. What's that movie, I, Robot? That's exactly how it's gonna.
Hey, we're getting there.
Yeah.
See, that was our speed round. It's new for today's edition.
That's a good idea. Speed round.
I know the old teaser still has it.
Oh man,
Alexis,
Alexis, implement that
on this show. I would. So
I don't even know what he's saying anymore.
So
Alexis,
angry.
we've already learned from you, because now we have a new segment to the show. This is great.
Speed round. That's good.
All right, you're in charge.
Yeah, that's how it works. When you create the idea, you're in charge.
It's called initiative.
Well, it sounds like someone is dying behind one of the two of you. I mean, there's
well, we certainly hope not here at Corporate AV. We have empathy and compassion.
It's all about
some
relationships.
People.
Surprise! But
oh gosh.
No, listen,
right,
we're gonna wrap this thing up today. But listen, Alexis, thank you very much. I think you had some very insightful information, and we're all very happy to have you here.
Yes,
and you know the whole team is very happy to have you. So
I'm happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
And now you can check off live podcast on your bucket list.
Put it on my resume. Corporate AV.
There you go.
Joe, we're gonna update our resumes after this.
Live podcaster.
Oh, that's good.
All right, we still got a few things to work on, Alexis, but that's okay. We'll take it for another show.
That was good.
Well, thank you. We're gonna wrap.
I think
this
she
thing
should
up.
stick around for the wrap up, because she's part of the team.
Sounds like a great idea. Then let's wrap this thing up. I mean, we had a good discussion. We learned some new things. We discussed killer robots, which are hot on my mind right now. And, we're looking forward to seeing Alexis on site with some of our clients. I'm sure that you guys are going to love her just like we do. Except, and now I have a co-host to actually step in when the other one disappears every now and then.
But sometimes he reappears.
Where is his reappearing? Can that happen again? I mean,
it can totally happen again. I just have to call out to him. Oh, assistant! He's pesky sometimes. Oh, there he is. Oh, my phone again. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. He just always brings me my phone. I don't know why.
Keep losing that thing.
I
Keep
just
losing
keep losing
it.
it.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to be wrapping this show up. Listen here, Ryan, why don't you tell everybody how they can find us?
Surely.
Go for
Surely. You can, and Alexis, keep notes on this one because this is going to be your job when I'm out. You can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube Live. You can do that every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Standard Time, both of them. While you're there, you can drop us a comment. You can be part of the show. You can also like, comment, share, subscribe, all the above. Much appreciated. And if you missed this, find the full discography video, that is, on YouTube. And you can also find some bite-sized pieces on Facebook and on Instagram, which we've been slacking with lately. But we're going to get back at it because Alexis is going to help lead us. And that's it. That's all, folks.
Excellent. Alexis, do you have any? Would you like to say bye to everyone?
Bye, everyone.
Do you have a catchphrase that you want to start using?
Oh, geez.
Or one of mine that you want to steal? Like
that's also a possibility.
You have been this whole show.
It just fit. It just worked. It's good. You should be proud.
You should actually take that right now. That should be your catchphrase. Go for it.
What is it?
You forgot it already?
All right, we're moving on.
Mine? Oh, stealing his? Yeah, that's cool.
We're live, so let's keep it moving.
Go ahead.
All right. Listen, I'm going to go. Whatever happens after this is not on me. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, everyone.
So long.